when I get out there, what do? How do I sustain myself? What do I, how am I going to get that job versus the person sitting next to you? And so that's what I'm going to talk about. How you need to go out there, something you need to think about is how you are going to convey to your client that you can do it with less is more mentality. So if we look at sustaining, you can either, number one, feel overwhelmed. You're here, there's the Empire State Building next to me, or you can conquer your environment. It's all about perspective, the perspective within yourself as a creative and what you're going to do out there for your clients. It's the perspective that you bring of how you're going to solve the problems. How are you going to work what's given? What inspiration can you bring? What about your experiences? I mean, that's what's fun about Miami Ad School is all the quarter-aways and all the experiences you get. Is the whole international aspect. Every single one of you is bringing something different to the table, and that's what's great. It's a us versus them mentality, the client and us. We're always trying to fight for that great idea. Well, what if we didn't fight anymore? What if in actuality we changed our mindset and our part, and we looked at it as working with our client, working with them. So we must solve the problem with our clients. Why? Number one, they need to take ownership of it. Clients need to take ownership of what you produce. They want to be able to go out there and say, wow, this campaign we came up with, not, oh, McCann Erickson, oh, BBDO, oh, so-and-so is our agency of record. We created this. And the we is you and them creating together. So what about this with mentality? It's because they need to be involved in the process, to understand the creative solution. When a client is involved in the process or involved in my process, and I'll talk about that, the client actually sees it along the way and agrees along the way with what we're doing. And when they agree with what we're doing, how can they say no in the end? They can't. And so I only show one idea. I only do one thing for them. So, it's because we need respect. Each of us, with our clients, needs to not earn the respect, but understand that there's genius in everyone, and that anyone can bring something to the table. And that whole idea of the name of the company didn't come about because we work with our clients, although that's like perfect. But it really deals with that with any problem, a solution, there is a solution with something. And most likely, that solution has to be innovative and it has to be creative. And so with creative came out of that concept of we can solve any problem. We can do environmental, we can do trade show, we can do online, we can do whatever. And with creative can actually do that. Okay, so second is begin with the end in mind. If you know in the end what you want to be or who you want to look like or what that end result's going to be as far as, because I work in branding, it's a full range scheme type of thing, or who your client wants to be in the end, it's much easier. We play this game with our clients, and when we ask them, who are you? We ask them, if you think of your company now, who are you? When I work with a client, I sign them on for an entire year. So it's very similar to what an agency does, but I'm on a design firm side, is that we'll handle all of their communication, visual communication, whether it's web, online, or print, or whatever it is, for an entire year. And here we go with the concept of peer-to-peer collaboration. And you guys are all peers. So even though you are put in teams of art director, copywriter, I'm sure there's an interactive designer and another designer. You know what? Get to know those friends because you'll need them when you walk out that door, the first thing when you graduate. my last tip for you is the brand called you. Build it. You need to build your own brand. We talk about to our clients how we build brands, but when we don't do it ourselves, there's something wrong with that. So even though you're not out there yet, you need to start thinking about what your brand is. And there's two things you need to think about is, what is your difference factor? What differentiates you from that person next to you? I.e., it doesn't matter, copywriter, art director, you're all creatives. So if you're all creatives, what differentiates you besides that actual task that you bring to the project? So, and what is your definition of good? When I was here in Miami, I said, we need to get out there about what good design is to our clients. And as you saw, my clients are not Target. They're not the large corporations. I'm more for the entrepreneur, rooting for those guys. I want to be able to develop the entire brand for my client. I don't want to just have that one little singular piece. So this is the current website. It links back to Gouthier Design because we haven't gotten very far because we're so busy. So it just says, hello world, welcome. So thank you. So those are the tips that I give you as a student that I see out there in the industry happening of how you need to create yourself as well as creating a great portfolio to be accepted out there and to survive because you're up against a lot of competition. Thank you.